Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons today. Let's jump into the latest Falcons news and rumors, including an update on the red helmet situation. Going to be interesting here in just 1 second. First, you guys subbed, you guys subscribers to the what I think is a great channel here regarding your Atlanta Falcons. If you love the Falcons, if you miss the fact that they don't talk about Atlanta like on TV anymore, I mean, it's almost irrelevant on national TV. We cover them here. Go down below and subscribe. Also, how about some trivia? We'll go ahead and answer this right now. We'll see who gets this one right in the comments section. Right now, who's the Falcons' all-time leading rusher? I'll give you the answer later on in the show. Don't Google it. Think about it. All-time leading rusher. Give me your thoughts down below. We'll see if you're right later on in today's show. All right, let's go ahead and jump in the latest Falcons news and rumors, starting with the tidbit on the Falcons. Well, we knew they were going to wear red helmets in one game against the 49ers. Apparently, though, they're going to wear them in multiple games in 2022. Now, the red helmets, to me, are absolutely fantastic, and I don't know a Falcon fan out there that doesn't want to see the return of the red helmet. It's all part of the NFL's new initiative to try to bring back some alternate uniforms, some older jersey styles, which I am all for. But apparently, there is I think the plan is for the Falcons to wear red helmets more often than just the one game that was originally slated on October 16th against the 49ers. Now, Falcoholic had a good write-up on this. They actually had an interview which I think kind of broke all of this. Throw it up on your screen. Quote, the only real complaint I saw that the Falcons were only wearing the red helmets for one game in 2022. Well, do we have some news for you? Brett Jukes, I think, as he say his name? And Jukes, and say his last name. The Chief Operating Officer and Senior Vice President of AMB Group appeared on the Falcoholic Live on Wednesday evening and unofficially revealed we will see the red helmets for at least one more game in 2022. Now, he would not say which game that was, and it was very cryptic. I went ahead and listened to that little part on the Falcoholic Live, and it was like, don't expect it to just be once. It won't be just one time. Like, they will see them again. The question is, what will be the other game? Because we do know the one game, right? The first game we will see these red helmets is your Falcon 49er matchup on October 16th. That is officially, like, red helmet game. They've already announced that, so mark your calendar. It's going to be a lot of fun. We just don't know what the other game is going to go ahead and be. And honestly, I think it's going to be two, based on kind of the cryptic comments from this, Chief Operating Officer and Senior VP, but there could be more. And so we'll keep an eye out on the latest news on that. But kind of a fun bit of news to start with today as OTAs continue. We'll get the OTA news here in a second. But red helmets, expect them more than just once during the season. You guys like the red helmets? I think most of you guys do, right? If you like the red helmets, rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. I think they're a straight 10. I think they're absolutely fire. If you guys like the red helmets, give me your scale rating down below right now. Now, what's also fire is these Kyle Pitt jerseys, which are back out on the market as they're, the supply chain issues. Sometimes it takes a while for you to go and pick them up. If you order them now, you have a chance to get them, obviously, well before the start of the season at chatsports.com/Pitts. You get all the different colors and sizes, men's, women's, kids, red, black, white. I mean, all the great sizes for your Kyle Pitts jerseys. We're expecting a big year from Kyle Pitts, so pick up his official jersey right now. This is not the cheap, overseas knockoff stuff. This is the real deal. I got one of my jerseys from this exact place. I mean, they do a great job, and it is the legit Nike stuff, so pick them up right now. Okay, let's throw up the Falcons defensive back depth chart right now, and we'll get into some OTA stuff here. This is a fascinating group because you have some veterans in there, but really you have two young guys who I think most Falcon fans are expecting big things from in 2022. Jaylinn Hawkins and obviously Richie Grant. Grant, second-round draft pick last year, basically didn't play on and off the football field, and there were injury concerns and, back and forth, but really underwhelming so far from his young career. However, Dean Peeves on a local 92.9 The Game Atlanta radio station said back in April, he's expecting big things from these two young safeties. Look at this quote. Quote, I think we've got two good young safeties who are going to get their opportunity now this year. I mean, that's very clear that they're going to get a massive opportunity to win starting jobs and play at starting positions, the safety spot in 2022. This is the time for the young guys to show up, and they have a really good chance of being starters on what is a lackluster defense. It's kind of the benefit of being on a lesser football team in terms of overall roster. Had they had two solidified starting safeties, then there'd be no chance for Hawkins or Grant, in my opinion. But now, they're almost forced to get a chance to start, and if they play well, you can really win not only the hearts of Atlanta Falcon fans, but win over your coaches as well, keep the spot, get a future contract, and all the goodness that comes with that. Now, there will be pressure, and there's a lot of pressure on the back of Richie Grant, as we mentioned, second-round draft pick last year, didn't do much his rookie season, and he understands that he has got to step up for this challenge. So we'll throw that quote up on your screen here. Quote, it's a blessing and a challenge. Now you have to step up to the plate, show what you've been working on and where and what you came here to do. The blessing is knowing that they have the confidence in us The challenge is to go out there, earn the role, and be the starters right now, end quote. So it sounds like the backing is there. Obviously, Dean Pease, we saw that quote here. But right now, it is all on the shoulders of guys like Richie Grant to look good. And he better look good in 2022. I've always said, your second-round draft pick, he's got to be an impactful player as quickly as possible. And you could make the case that, rookie seasons are tough, and they are. Even if you're a first-round draft pick, you might not be fully yourself by, the end of year one. But year two, you've had 2 training camps, you've had a full off season, you've learned the playbook, at least you're supposed to have learned the playbook. These guys should be a lot better here in year 2, and really most of us, if not all of us, are looking at Richie Grant to be an impact player, because there were flashes of that, obviously in college, and why he was taken in round 2, considered one of the better safeties in last year's draft. Time to prove it, time to go ahead and show what you are made of. There's not a better roster in the National Football League to do that with because of how porous right now the defense is. He can show up, he can compete, he can win the starting job, and win over a lot of us who thought he was a bust after 1 year. You guys believe in the young safety duo? I think most of us do. I think we at least feel confident in it in 2022. If you believe in them, type Y down below for yes. If you do not, go ahead and type N down below for no. Okay, we'll get to the offensive line free agents here in just 1 second, because the Falcons did mention they're going to add some more offensive linemen. I try to decipher who that can be. First, though, answer to your trivia question from the start of the video. Who is the Falcons' all-time leading rusher? If you got this, I'll be impressed, because I did not know this. It's Gerald Riggs. Remember Gerald Riggs a long time ago? 6,631 yards, your all-time leading rusher for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go through the comments and see if anyone got that one right. Okay, we end on this quickly with the Falcons' offensive line depth chart. Now, we mentioned it in a video earlier this week, or maybe it's late last week, that Arthur Smith said they will eventually cut some of their, bloviated wide receiver position group because they have so many receivers at that spot right now, and they will try to replace them with offensive line depth. And that kind of got myself and also the Falcoholic, who provided this list, to give you some ideas of who they could sign who are still available in free agency. And we're going to go through 5 right now. And there are some decent ones. I was surprised. The Falcoholic made a good list here of potential free agent offensive linemen the Falcons could go ahead and sign to compete for starting jobs or just add overall depth. First is Quinton Spain. Now he's a guard and could really be a competition at the left guard spot. Interesting why he's a free agent. He's not really been injured in recent history. He obviously was on the Bengals this past year and played very well for them, but he's on the wrong side of 30. And I don't know if it's the age that is getting teams, but the fact that he's go ahead and is still a free agent means that you could bring him in and really put him up against Jalen Mayfield for that left guard spot. I think he would be an upgrade. He was not bad for the Bengals. Bengals offensive line wasn't great last year. Super Bowl, you saw Joe Burrow get hit a lot, but he at least is a bona fide starter and could come in and provide some serious help there at positions of need. Excuse me. Next is center J.C. Tretter. He's been healthy, he's been consistent, not missed a lot of games throughout his year. Now, he would beat competition at a crowded spot, because right now it's kind of Drew Dahlman versus Matt Hennessy. They're very clearly not all in on Matt Hennessy. Like, it's going to be an open competition for the center position. Let's say you get to training camp and you don't like one of the two, and it's very clear that they need some additional depth. Look for a guy like Tretter to be an option there at the center spot. Moving down our list here, kind of a hybrid guard tackle, Eric Flowers. He's still young. I mean, he's not necessarily as old as some people think when you think of Eric Flowers, but he's more of a depth guy. He's not necessarily going to roll in here and be an instant starter at tackle or at guard. But again, you get to training camp, you want some different bodies in there to add to the competition, which is how it should be right now based on the current status of the offensive line. Flowers is another option there who's still young, can still get the job done, and give you guys some good depth. Next is Gregory Van Roten, I think it's Roten is how you say his last name. Again, consistent starter over the past couple of years in the National Football League, but was benched by the Jets halfway through the year. The guy who replaced him didn't do much for the Jets either, so it's very similar to the Bengals guy situation with Spain, where he starts, he plays okay, but not good enough to keep his job. I don't think he would waltz in and be an instant starter, but again, we're talking about guys that are still available. It's not like there's a bunch of Pro Bowlers out there to go ahead and sign. I think that Greg is another option at the guard spot, which is probably the weakest spot on the offensive line. Finally, Zach Banner. Banner is the biggest gamble of this group. He is a tackle, always injured, right? Only two games the past couple of years. Injuries are the issue, but he's huge in terms of overall size and just 28 years old. The gamble, of course, is in playing healthy, but when he is healthy, or has been in the past, he's been very, very good at run blocking and creating lanes in the rushing attack, which has been a big problem for the Falcons the past couple of years. So that definitely a gamble, biggest gamble of the group, but maybe the biggest reward of the group overall if he pays off. So you got Spain, Tretter, Flowers, Rotan, and Banner as 5 offensive lineman options if Arthur Smith is correct in saying that he is going to go ahead and add some depth once they cut some of the wide receivers off of this team. All right, we'll end on this. Should Atlanta add more offensive linemen? Do you agree? Let me know down below in the comments section. I think most of us will agree. I mean, that's the position group that needs the most help. Sure, wide receiver group is going to be a little bit bleak this year, but, Drake London could play well and elevate that group. But who's going to elevate the group on this offensive line? I want more depth. I want more options in there, and I think the Falcons have some on the free agent market, as we see via the Falcoholics list. Okay, ultimate today on our Atlanta Falcons news and review video. Again, be sure to subscribe. This is the best content, in my opinion, that you can get here on the channel. And go ahead and get in on a mailbag video. We'll have a mailbag video later on, maybe this week or next week. #Falcons in the comments section. For Atlanta Falcons today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.